Hello, everyone. This is the Phrancko Sweater Knitters meeting. I'm starting to have trouble saying that. It's a tongue twister. Um, this is the meeting of people who are knitting the sweaters the pattern is generated at Phrancko.com, and the pattern is custom fit to you and your measurements and your gauge. So if you're interested in knitting a sweater like that, come join us here and we will answer any questions you have and help you get through this process. Or we'll just hang out and have fun together. So hello, everyone. Hi, Joellen.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Hi, Serena.
Hello.
Hi, Sumner.
Hi.
Hi, Will.
Hello.
Looks like we're having a small meeting today, but that's all right. There may be a couple of people coming in later. We never know.
Right.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Thank you.
I caught your moving just a short distance away bug and have done the same.
You've done the same recently?
Yes, in the last couple of weeks. I
Oh.
moved one room down the hall. I made mine really short.
Oh, really short. Well, mine was just a little longer than that. I moved 3 blocks or maybe 4 blocks, but anyway. And as we've said, that view you're seeing behind me is actually a picture of what I'm looking at when I look forward. That what's actually behind me is a green screen and a blank wall.
Is that a globe? That round thing?
Yes, it's a globe.
Okay.
We picked that up somewhere. I thought it was really nice looking. It's
Yeah,
got a statue of Atlas underneath holding up the globe.
Is it black and white?
It's kind of a brown and beige. The ocean is beige and the continents are, I don't know what color that is. It's a very nondescript color. Brown, I guess.
Okay. Hey, Cindy.
Hi. How you doing, Joellen?
Well, hi,
Well,
Cindy.
thank you.
Hi, Frank. How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
We're
It
good.
looks like there's a lot of sunshine. I'm seeing sunshine. This is kind of cool. We have sunshine here today too for a change. I'm so excited.
Oh, good.
I may mute myself if I go into the coughing thing. Getting over what you had, Sumner.
Oh no.
Awful.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say Andrew is better. Andrew tested
Good. I'm
positive for
glad to hear
COVID
that.
10 days ago, and he came off quarantine a couple of days ago and was testing negative again. And
Oh, wonderful.
he had some mild symptoms, but nothing too terrible. And so it was good, except that we were isolating here in the apartment for 5 days or so. But I continued to test negative, so I guess I did pretty well at staying isolated.
Yay. And it seemed like you were cooking last time too and delivering.
I was delivering the food, yes. I would leave it on a tray outside his door and then run away and
Run
knock
away.
on the door and say, "Your food's here," and then I'd run away. But I'm really happy that he's better now.
Better, yeah.
Just fine.
For sure.
Cindy, I have a question for you if I don't go into a coughing fit. So if I do, excuse me. But if you don't mind, about a month ago, there was a lady that came to visit, and she knits cardigans. She has I think, a YouTube site, and she was sharing how she divides up her cardigan and whatnot. And she mentioned to you, being the sharp person that you are, that you spotted where she had done a row of pearls. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay. I've gone back.
Was it Kathy? Was the one that was talking about cardigan something?
It was a lady that she's only been on, I think, once or twice. And
oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about.
And she's and I have gone back and listened to that a couple of times, and I can't figure out what the row of pearls are. It's just idle curiosity.
Do you know which video it is? Which date it is?
I don't. I don't have that in front of me.
Okay. When you
it's
find that,
a good month ago, but not much further.
Not much more. Okay. All right. I'll try to figure it out.
A beautiful kind of tan cardigan on, and she had intentions of going and knitting about 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
I may step away from the camera. I think I may have her name. I'm gonna see if I can locate it.
Okay.
Hi, Rana. I see you've joined us. Oh, and she says, sorry, no mic today. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Rana.
Hello.
Hi, Rana.
Is it sunny there, Rana? It's sunny here. And a lot of us have sun, it looks like. Jenny, was it sunny there today?
She says it is beautiful.
Oh, yay, good. Ours is total blue sky. There's no clouds. This is so amazing.
No, I had rain today, rain and mist.
Rain and mist. Oh, yeah. Dang.
I like rain and mist myself.
Well, I do too. And normally it's here and we have really lots of green trees because of it. But when the sun comes out, it's like, oh, it's so nice. I forgot what it was like. And we drove into town yesterday. One of the granddaughters had a little dance recital at the college, and you could see the mountains and everything. It's like, oh, I forgot they were there with the snow. It was beautiful because normally you can't see that far.
Yeah, I've been to Seattle a few times, and it's surprising when suddenly there's a mountain that you can see that you haven't seen for a few days.
Yeah. And what's even weirder, Frank, is when you'll sometimes go where you just see the mountains on one side and you don't see the ones on the other side because it's like it's cloudy on the coast or cloudy inland. And then it's like you get a sunny day and it's like, my gosh, there's mountains on both sides. This is
They're everywhere.
So weird. They're everywhere. And you kind of forget.
Yeah. So, Will, I heard you say you're just starting your sweater, your Phrancko sweater.
I am. Yeah, let's see, I guess maybe a week ago, maybe a little longer than a week ago. I've got it here. It's just a plain black cotton blend.
Brave, knitting black.
Yeah, I wear a lot of black, and I want something that I know I'll wear. So
cotton and what? Cotton and wool, cotton and linen.
Cotton and
very even stitches,
which is a bamboo.
Cotton and
modal, which is derived from bamboo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that's what the label.
Got a nice sheen to it, modal.
Yeah,
it does.
It's soft.
Your stitches are really even, William.
Thank you.
I'm very envious.
So I'm almost done with the increases for the sleeve caps. And then I'll put each sleeve on waist yarn and do my crochet provisional cast on for the underarms.
Are you doing have you gotten to the part of the increases where there's increases on both the body and the sleeve? I'm
just in those right now.
I see.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you do the provisional cast on for the underarms. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll get to that pretty soon. I don't know if I'll get to it today. I had to put this down because it's cotton, and for those of you who worked with cotton, you know it doesn't stretch like animal fibers do,
Mhm.
and it tends to put more strain on my hands.
Oh,
So I'm taking a little break. I knit too tightly, I think. So I'm gonna put that on timeout for a couple of days and work on something a little more relaxing for my hands,
uh,
and and then come back to it.
It is really surprising how different fibers react different and feel different in our hands, as well as what the resulting fabric is like, what kind of drape it has, and everything else, even being the same stitch, the same gauge or a similar gauge with the same needles and stuff. It it works very. It turns out really different.
Yeah, I was using a cotton linen blend a couple months, 3 or 4 months ago, and I
Mhm.
loved the fabric it made, but the yarn just had no stretch. You
It
know,
doesn't
like
at all.
it just didn't,
No.
and it made it rough on my hands.
Mhm.
You know, you could feel after working with it for a few hours, my joints, I could just feel they were really kind of aching. And
oh,
so I love the finished product, but I don't know that I would make it again because,
Right.
um, you know, it was tough on my hands.
Has, has anybody ever come across anything or seen it where somebody has kind of like done a study of which stitch patterns work better for some of the different fibers? Like I've heard people say sometimes that you need to for cotton or linen or a cotton linen blend, that if you have a stitch pattern that kind of like holds together better,
Hmm.
it it maintains its shape more. But I've never I've heard them say it, but I've never seen a list, or nor do
Yeah.
I have a list.
yeah.
There.
I've never seen the list either. I've had individual suggestions. I know when I made the Argyle sweater, wait, was it Argyle? Yes. I'm I'm drawing a blank. Was it Argyle? Anyway, the dyer said this fabric tends to stretch, so you need to use some sort of slip stitch pattern, which will hold it
Mm,
up. And so I did a slip every fourth stitch throughout the entire body and staggered it so that it was one stitch off every row, every round, and it made a
mhm.
really interesting diagonal across that was very subtle and went against the striped pattern.
Hmm.
Well, it would be subtle, but it would add structure
And it
to
added
that. To
structure.
like,
That's right.
yeah. So that's what you're looking at with some of these different fibers that you need.
That's
Because
fascinating to me that a slip stitch could do that.
Yeah, table.
I was just so thrilled to hear that little tidbit.
well, you think about it, it's like the slip stitch is holding from the row below. And
Right.
so it's kind of like holding it up a little bit, not allowing it to drop down quite as
Yeah.
much as a regular. I'm making a knit stitch. See, a regular stitch would do.
Yeah, it binds two rows together, and then the
Yeah,
next two
it kind
rows
of
are
holds
bound
it together
together,
a little bit more. Yeah.
and so there's just less vertical stretch.
Roxanne Richardson is doing a 30 breed study blanket of
Oh
yarn
wow.
that she has spun. And I was just watching it today. So really interesting in how she talks about the different hand based on the staple of the wool.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be worth watching.
Yeah.
She just put it out. It was
Yeah.
this past Fridays and actually last Fridays too. So she wanted a way to present all 30 different sheep that she spun,
Mm-hmm.
put it into a blanket as a reference, and how to
Oh,
label it.
That's cool.
She's so
Interesting.
impressive.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
They
And
have a word for that for weaving, that you use all the different colors.
yeah, it's a
It's a
breed
It's a
study.
sampler. It's a sampler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different word I'm thinking of though. It's fascinating when people do that.
The
Yeah.
thing, even with the breed study, it's unless you're spinning it yourself and prepping the fibers the same way and spinning it the same way,
Right.
it's going to be different, because even the same group of fibers from the same animal, if you prep it differently, if you spin it different with more or less twist, if you've got a longer draw, if you have more plies or less plies,
Yeah,
it's
she was
it's
drum
going to be
carding
different.
versus hand
Oh
carding.
yeah, so she's
Yeah.
doing it all the same
Yeah,
way. No, that's interesting. So she's doing it.
she's serious.
That's great. That's great.
I love her. I learned so much from her.
I love her stuff too. I'm behind watching most of my normal YouTubes and podcasts because I've just been watching Frank's. It's like I'm driven to do them all.
Right.
It's really sad when we drive ourselves to do something crazy like that.
Something crazy like watch all my videos.
It's like you think just watching 2 or 3 would be fine, but no, I got to do it from the beginning and watch every one.
Well,
And it
are
is,
you
you kind of
referring to
like
the
get into
are you
binge
referring to the
watching.
videos that are in the pattern or just general videos that I've done?
The Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
Oh, you're
The
watching the
meetings.
meetings.
She's
Oh,
binge watching the meetings.
Yeah, I'm binge watching.
yes. Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of random information scattered through
Yeah.
those meetings, isn't it? I mean, because
Yeah.
It
people
is.
ask questions and then people go off on subjects and we hear all kinds of tips that just are very interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to go look at some of my comments because I was like, which video is this and what? So I started putting comments that said, this is the one where they talk about so that I can find what I want.
It's for your own good.
I'm like, they're going to think I'm nuts. Because wasn't that the way they did for Friends or some series? This is the episode where somebody did that. That's how they called their episode.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think it was Friends.
What is the name that you make comments under? What is it? Serena, or do you have an alt?
I think it's Serena. I think it is. Because I think I'm like on October of last year now. So you can go look and see what I'm doing and call me crazy if you want.
No, I'm sure it's very helpful. I had at various times when I thought I had more time, I thought about doing indexes and saying, at this point, we're talking about socks. And at this point, we're talking about that. But I never got around to doing that.
It takes a really long time to do that, doesn't it? To do something like that.
Does.
You have to like watch it over and over to get the
You
exact
have to watch it very carefully and pause it. You pause it as it, and then back up and say, where did this section start? And yeah, it takes a while to do that. It's about all I can accomplish.
Tips in those videos.
There are.
I'm my gosh, I'm like, I need to remember this, and then I'm like, I'll never remember which one it's in. And
I was surprised when I go back and watch them also, the things that I missed while I was at the Zoom meeting.
Good thing
I
they're
was
recorded.
there and I missed it.
That's priceless.
Well, speaking of things I missed, Rana wrote into the chat back when we were talking about the weather. It is 74 in Southern California.
Oh, wow. So it's perfect today.
See, Rana, we eventually get to what you put in chat. Some more diligent people than myself would probably get to it sooner.
We're not ignoring you, Rana. We're just I don't know. I'm kind of not checked out. Maybe everybody else is too. I'll just admit it. And now, whatever the minute is, I said that, and Serena will be watching it in a few weeks.
So Cindy, I've looked through all my leftover. These are my leftover pattern pieces, and where I write little notes to myself how I got to do this, that, and the other, and check off all the numbers, etc. Right. And I found a name that I wrote that is possible. Okay. It's that lady, and it's Cheryl. The Cheryl Oberle, Oberle. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. I'll go back.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen. That doesn't mean it isn't the right name.
I understand.
That means that I do my very best, but sometimes it's not very good.
Oh, it's always good.
So Rana just said in chat, there's a pattern in Ravelry called, quote, keep it warm slipover, unquote, that I'm test knitting on the design part on the front to perhaps put on a Phrancko.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking it up.
Pattern?
Yep. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, can you share your screen?
Oh, don't ask me to do that. I mean, I'll try, Frank, but it's like, okay. Oh, it's like here. So share screen. Okay, let's see. Which one is it? Well, it gives me all these other things. It's like the whiteboard. I don't even have a whiteboard. The iPhone. My phone is not connected.
You click share screen at the bottom.
Oh, wait. Okay, I see it. I know. Then it's giving me like 20 different choices that it's showing me pictures of things that it's like, no, I don't want that. Okay, I finally saw the one I want. Okay, there it is. Ta-da!
Great.
Screen sharing. Participants can now see your application. So there it is.
Oh my!
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, that's very pretty.
That would be a beautiful on the front, Rana.
That's
very
lovely.
nice.
Yeah, that would really be beautiful.
That would really be really, really pretty. And given that it's a central panel, like centered there, that wouldn't be really all that hard to put into a Phrancko at all, would it, Frank?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's gorgeous. My cables would probably not look that nice, but
oh, I'm sure they would. But it is similar to the sweater that I'm wearing in, with a cable down the front. Well, after you stop sharing, I'll show it full screen.
Okay, I'm stopped sharing. Okay, there we go. Stop sharing.
It looks like that collar is your big scoop neck, the collar that the lady had on that pattern.
Yeah.
There, it's
Rana
kind of
said
like
it's
that
top down
without the cables around the neckline.
Yeah, Rana said the pattern is top down, so that should work great. That should work really nice, Rana. I think that'd be beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, it's come up several times recently. I think somebody talked about it last week, that if you find a pattern in a book and then put it into the sweater the way it's written, the sweater turns it upside down because you're going top down, and most patterns in the book are.
So you have to find something that's top down, or you have to reverse engineer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which he showed us that it almost reminds me of this, which I am already swatching, which is very similar.
Wow,
that's pretty. That's pretty.
Oh, look at that.
That I was thinking about putting. It's like this is silk, I think, blend. So I was thinking about doing it in Phrancko. Yeah, and this is the stockinette, very loose and.
Oh my!
But really nice, when she showed us that, I was like, "That is so similar to the one I just swatched."
Well, in a minute, I'll show you the progress I've made on my hoodie.
Oh, yay. That'll be fun.
I'm doing the invisible rib bind off at the bottom of the sweater. And I guess I'm not going to finish it in this hour, so I'll just stop and show it to you unfinished. Let's see if I can figure out how to. All right, let's start with the bottom of the front. That's the part you haven't seen.
Oh, I love
wow.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, Frank. I like it.
That pocket came out
Pockets turned out
amazing.
well.
That
Oh,
looks
that's really
lovely.
nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Very nice.
I'm happy with it.
Beautiful sweater.
And here's the hood, which I've already
And the
shown.
hood. Oh, yay.
I think I might make it an andiamo so I can see the details of the pockets.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that a brick red?
A what?
Like
Brick
a brick
red?
Or it's red though.
It's red, and it's kind of a, I guess it is a brick red. Yes, it's kind of a muted burgundy. That's what I think of it as. It's kind of a grayed burgundy, not bright. I really like the color.
I much prefer that shade of red than.
And it feels huge, but I guess that's just the way it is. I've got the sleeves to do. If I can figure out, left to right is really hard to get right when you're showing something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I have trouble with up and down too, but
Rana says, again, Frank, that color is so good with your complexion.
it is. It truly is.
So, Miss Jenny,
Hello, yeah.
this is my Phrancko on the zero. That's my head goes in that little hole there.
Gosh.
On
Yay.
the
On
zero.
the zeros.
That's lovely. Is that the saddle shoulder, is it?
It was going to be, but I changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
So this is just a regular crew.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love the halo on this yarn.
Yeah.
And it is
really
so
quite pretty.
soft.
Yeah.
That's
So
lovely,
soft.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a lovely fabric as well it's producing, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll be a nice turtleneck.
Yeah.
You would
Wow.
laugh if you could see the seam on the back.
Yeah.
See how tight
We
that
can.
is?
It's so tiny.
Oh my goodness.
So tiny.
Looking good.
Ooh.
Looking good.
Yeah, I ordered a 5'0".
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a 60-inch zero.
What? Why would you do that?
Well, Twitchy Hands. What a great website if you need that really crazy odd needle. Twitchy Hands.
Twitchy Hands.
Yeah, they get anything. I've got a 60-inch 000.
Oh boy.
Why do you want 60 inches? Why, that seems so
because doing the magic loop, because I hate it so much. I really don't like magic loop.
And so,
but still, why do you need a 60-inch? I don't get that.
Well, because it's from
it's like you're not 60 inches around.
No, but when you're doing small size needles, they're generally lace tips, so they're very long and straight. Mm-hmm. So to be able to get a good turn on it, I think the 60 makes it easier.
Oh, okay.
So because the needle itself is so long. The needle
itself is longer. Okay, so it's like more than the regular, like 5 inches or something?
Yeah, I think it's like a 6-inch.
Oh, okay.
But there's not a lot of room to spare with just a little pull out the back.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
And that's 60 from tip to tip.
Governor, that is longer than I am tall.
That's taller
We
than
were
most of my
talking
relatives.
about height on Thursday.
Taller than most of my relatives.
What kind of gauge are you getting, Sumner?
I am getting
Tiny.
10 stitches per inch.
And do you know how many rows? I'm just curious. How many?
Yes, it's what was the number? 40 rows for 3 inches
Okay.
and 40 stitches per inch. I mean, 40 stitches for 4 inches.
Okay.
So yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been a little frustrated with some pieces of it because I didn't realize at the fine gauge alpaca, because it's 100% alpaca, there isn't a lot of give to it. So my hands have been cramping really badly, even doing the Norwegian knitting. So I've had to put it down, and because it's like I'm fighting with it a little bit. But
yeah, because alpaca, even though it's an animal fiber and it's very light, it's very fine, it's very soft, it's straight like your hair. Well, not
yeah, it's
like
very
your hair,
long,
like
staple.
my hair. It's
Yeah.
but it's a long staple, but it's very straight. And wool, if you look at it, even ones that have a long staple, but particularly like merino or something that we're familiar with, it's really soft. It's like zig 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 zig. If
Yeah,
you look at it, it's like
curly,
curly,
so
curly,
it does-
curly, curly. And alpaca is straight, and so
yeah,
so it
there's
doesn't.
no.
There is no give in it.
I don't know if you could see that. There is zero give. That's like twine.
Yeah.
So it's like
Oh, look at that.
like you could play it like a guitar.
So
I see
so if you
Rana
run out of
Rana
the
asked
forest-
if you think it will pill. Do you think it'll pill?
It will absolutely pill. The alpaca pills awful.
Thank you for saying alpaca. I said argyle earlier and I knew it wasn't right. I meant alpaca.
Okay.
Oh yeah, alpaca pills. I don't mind pill. It's like cashmere. Cashmere pills. It's pills awful. But it is what it is. I don't know. So I use a cashmere
Why?
comb with the
Why does
alpaca,
it pill?
and it's fine. Why does it pill?
Why does it pill?
I think it's
I know.
because
I know
it's,
the answer. I want to know if you know the answer.
Oh,
Uh,
we're testing you. That's me.
I think I don't
I'm
know
so evil
because
today.
it's a long staple.
It's not necessarily because it's a long staple. It is again the same thing like with your hair because it is straight. There's nothing to like tie the little fibers together. It doesn't have the same barbs and
Oh, okay.
hooking together stuff that you think about. Wool does. Wool naturally wants to like hook together because it's this fuzzy mass, where the other is just like it's just like straight.
Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense.
And so that's the reason. So then it's going to, when little pieces are maybe not twisted quite as much, or they're a little bit shorter piece or something, that's going to like poof out and make a pill. Where the wool stuff so much is going to hang together more because it does have all that crimp.
Yeah, and your finest, most expensive cashmere is the long
the same
staple
way.
Undercoat that's straight.
And it is. It's very, very straight. If you look
straight.
at it, if you look at it with a magnifying glass or under a microscope, it is very, very straight. And if you look at wool, even wool that looks like it's pretty straight, it's got a lot of wave and curl in it.
Yeah. So I still think I would like to finish the project to do it, but it's going to have to be stops and starts so I don't cripple myself.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Because
then you'll have time to
like
do my argyle socks.
twine. Yes, plenty of time to knit your argyle socks. So and then I still have the husband's argyle cardigan that I'm going to do.
Oh, that's cool.
had a little bit of a writer's block. I don't think I can compare it to, of where I'm placing the argyle down the left side, where I want to place it on the seam, because the program doesn't allow me to place it in relation to the increases for its width. So I just to even it out, which that's a charting program that has nothing to do with it being a Phrancko. And because it's being off center, it won't matter too much.
So would you want it to start more in toward the neck rather than, so that it's wide on the shoulder but in toward the neck there?
I would like to get it started so that the left panel has its most full centered argyle within the panel. I think it's just I'll probably just swatch it.
That's always good. That works.
I'll probably just swatch it, because there's no real way to, like, I could physically do the math based on the shoulder increases, because the shoulder increases are very predictable when they're written out in the pattern.
Right.
How many increases per, So I think that will give me, it's just spending some time with it. Hopefully I'll get that tomorrow, because now that I started this crazy sweater, I should just be able to do the cardigan and make that in a couple of weeks.
Good.
My goal.
Give you kind of a break, and you can switch back and forth as you need to rest your hands.
Yeah, and I knew this would take a long time.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it almost makes me want to buy like a fingering wool to do a turtleneck rather than alpaca, just so I can get the product I want and not struggle so much with it.
But it'll be so worth it when you get to the end.
Oh, it will be.
This one is a really nice, and kids played with it and then wound it up. But it's a merino wool, and then it's got about 10 or 15% cashmere in it. And so it's soft, it doesn't pill really a lot, but it has that just lovely.
Look at the sheen on that is gorgeous.
It does. It really is. It really
it's
is very, very
pearl-like.
nice.
What is it?
It is. This is it's one from the little yarn shop here that we have, the quintessential knits. It's their stuff that they have.
It's their stuff? Is it terribly expensive?
Let's see. $29 a skein.
50 grams?
No, it's 100 grams.
Okay, well, you don't need your head examined, but almost.
Okay, it's 80. It's 80. Well, it says it's DK weight, but it was quite fun. It's merino, cashmere, and a little bit of nylon, but it knits really nicely.
Hold up the label for us so we can see it.
Are you doing it on fours?
Oh wait, is this? Wait a minute. I misspoke. Hang on. All right, it's not that one. This isn't on. It's on. Okay, hang on. I know how I can't get it out now. Dang it! It's on Zula Dreamy. It's what it is.
Okay.
But I don't have a tag for it because it's this one too. Here, it's the same. It's on Zula Dreamy.
Zula Dreamy.
Nice.
Zula Dreamy. Yeah, it's not from Quintessential. And if it's in Zula Dreamy, I actually got it from Ron.
Oh.
But I like the bounce. This was the first one that I used, and this one, the color is sexy. I knitted mitts for my great aunt, and it's beautiful, but it has the cashmere in it. So yeah,
it looks like it would be really beautiful. Oh, they'd look great together.
It would look really good together. So, yeah. But that's,
so it says that's a DK, not a sport weight. That's a
no. On Zula, I think on Zula Dreamy is a sport.
Yeah,
or maybe even a fingering. Let me go look it up.
Love the idea of the fingering, but yeah, wow. And I wasn't realizing that it had zero give. Like it's worse than the worst cotton I've ever knit. So I'm like, nah, just knit and have
Zula
fun.
Dreamy is a fingering weight yarn.
Mhm.
It's 114 grams and 385 yards. And the shine that you're coming from, it's 75 merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk.
Very nice.
I looked it up.
Beautiful stuff.
But it's really, really nice. And it comes in a lot of different colors. So you could even have a purple one if you wanted somewhere.
Don't mention purple.
Why?
You know,
Why? I like purple. It's my favorite color.
We proved that I have nothing but purple in my room and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Cindy, I did find the date for
Okay.
that. It's January 14th.
January 14th. All right.
Serena, did I hear you're just starting your first Phrancko sweater?
Oh, no. I think I'm on number 4 or something.
Oh, I don't know. I must have heard wrong.
Yeah, they're like potato chips. You can't have one.
It's an illness. The one behind me is the Phrancko that, I was having trouble with the lace pattern. And
Yes, and you wanted the scalloped edge at the bottom.
yeah, this is hand spun for a friend, and she and I aren't communicating very well, and she does not like the stripes going across.
Mm.
Oh no.
So
It's beautiful.
Because that yarn is going to stripe.
yes, but I guess what she wants, and I might be able to do this with a Phrancko, is to use separate balls of yarn for casting on the caps.
Casting
So,
on.
when you cast on the caps for the sleeve
caps.
Uh-huh.
change the ball of yarn, and I'm going to try that just because I want to see how it would look. But I still
You
don't
could
know.
you could do it the intarsia like in the round like Frank did. Maybe you haven't gotten to those Phrancko ones yet, but where he does the intarsia and he has the different parts of the different colors of the different pieces of the sweater. And so
I think I did hear her talk about that, but
you could do that.
I'm not sure. I may have to do a non-Phrancko for her.
Yeah.
Because she says she has wide shoulders and that will accentuate it, and she doesn't want that. But she wanted set-in sleeves, or I thought she did. So I thought, well, the Phrancko's perfect because of the set-in sleeves fitting so well. So that's why I chose the Phrancko for her. But then when she saw that continuous stripe, she didn't care for it. So
did she try it on?
she's in a different state from me.
Oh, okay. So she's not.
So this is a bit of a risk, but I have all the measurements. So
okay, yeah. Well,
yes,
it would fit, but sometimes it's like something that you might look at, you might think, oh, I don't think that would look good, and then you put it on, it's like, wow, this is great, or vice versa.
Right.
Right. That might change her mind, but I was able to have my neighbor try it on, who's a small person, and to show her an example of what it might look like on her. But she's just not satisfied with that stripe. So we're in another planning stage, which is just.
So, of course, the stripe will go across the front and across the back, even if you do the sleeve caps in a different color, right? Is that okay with her?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that would probably be okay with her, but I guess I don't have another yarn.
Oh, I thought you were talking about using a different yarn for the sleeve caps.
Well, I was thinking about using separate balls of her
separate balls, so that the pooling in essence would fall in a different place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the sleeve would look significantly different, hopefully, than the body. which I would test that just because I'm curious mainly.
Yeah.
To see how that would look on a Phrancko design, but I may not be able to make a Phrancko for her because if she wants those sleeves to be like attached.
The Phrancko, of course, the round goes onto the sleeve cap and then all the way around the sleeve cap and then across the back, as you all know. If you want the sleeve cap to be a different yarn, then you're going to have to use intarsia in the round. Intarsia in the round in order, or carry this. I would not recommend this, but the alternative would be to carry the one that you're using for sleeve caps, carry it across the back, with stranded work all the way across the back, and just to get it to the other cap, so you can then use it around the other side.
I don't think
that seems like a total waste, and I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm willing to do the intarsia for this particular project, just to get those sleeves maybe to look different. So
yeah, that seems like a lot of work just to get a little bit of a change.
Oh, I'm trying to find a pattern that has a picture like on Ravelry with sleeves knitted separately, and it's made with like self-striping yarn, so I could see what it might look like before I had
baseball sweater.
Pardon?
Like a baseball sweater?
Not necessarily. It just it cannot. I have to knit the front and back separate
and piece it
and attach the sleeves. I think if I don't do that, the stripes will be not happy. She won't be happy.
Right. What happens with self-striping yarn is when you do a sweater in pieces, the sleeves get really, really tight stripes. And then the front and the back are wider stripes. So it does end up looking good because it's the same yarn, but it's a different width in between the stripes.
Yes,
it gets really tight up here.
Different. Yeah, it will kind of look like a different material, right?
Yeah.
That the front and the back will be wide stripe material, and the sleeves will be skinny stripes.
I have one. I know where it is. It looks great, but
up in the sleeve cap area, it would be all continuous. And that difference doesn't happen until you separate the sleeves.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I think I'm going to have to, at least I have a picture of this, but I'm going to probably have to redo her sweater in a non-Phrancko pattern.
Yeah, it sounds like that might be, hate to recommend that you do a non-Phrancko sweater, but go ahead. I'll give you my permission.
I've got another one here. So.
Okay, phew, you're off the hook.
Does she want the stripes?
Specifically?
Does she want the stripes in the body?
She doesn't mind the stripes, but she doesn't want the stripes to be from shoulder
on the sleeve. Okay. The other thing that I have done in the Phrancko is I have done the helix knitting with yarn that was more like variegated or striping like that. And if you do the helix knitting, then it breaks it up and doesn't and that was a Phrancko, but it breaks up and so the color doesn't pool the same way, and you don't get those stripes. And you can do as many kind of helix stops and starts as you want, like 2 or 3 or even 4. Do you have that
picture on your project page? Maybe I could take a look.
Yeah, it's on one of mine.
I'll go look and see if that might be an option.
Yeah.
That would be
so that might be. You'd have to swatch, and see how it's gonna look when you switch. But that was a way that I did to break it up.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure it out. She just has to wait longer now.
That's a really good friend.
Yeah. But knitting is so unpredictable like this, isn't it? Sometimes you just don't know what, like she'll ask me, well, what's the sleeves going to look like? I'm like, I'm not sure till I knit them.
Right.
Well, and looking at a skein of yarn, unless it's just a solid color, it is hard to predict how it's going to turn out.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but I enjoy knitting though, and I don't mind enjoying it all over again. That's the way I'm actually enjoying this one all over again because I made this is a Phrancko sleeve with knit whiz software. So I made an error on it, and then I thought, well, if I have to fix the error, I might as well rethink the gauge because it's a very round yarn, and I wanted more drape or try to get more drape out of it. So I'm actually I've been undoing a lot of sweaters lately. Getting to enjoy them all over again.
Just getting a lot of use out of that yarn, aren't you?
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Serena, I noticed your little sign in the back. It says, "Of olive yarn, a glass of wine, come to chair and I'll be fine."
Yeah.
I have not ever been able to mix a glass of wine and knitting. I think that it looks fine, and then when the next day comes, you go, "What happened here?" Did you not notice dropping all these stitches? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't do that 100% of the time. My daughter made that little sign for me, and it's just so cute. It's so cute.
Well, I do my knitting in the morning. So I have my wine at night.
Jenny, what are you working on now?
So I finished my gnome. Hold on. Let me hold him up.
Oh, show us the gnome.
Yes, I sent you a
yay.
message. I'm dying
Oh,
to
it's
see
big.
Oh no.
That's so cute.
I love his mittens.
Got like a little bobble on the top of his hat to hang him up with if you want to hang him up.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. So there he is.
He's darling.
So cute. Little mittens.
Yes, little mittens. Yes, yeah. And I needed something to weight him down with, to make him stand up. And I tried some beads, but they didn't work. So I've got a tin of tuna in his bottom. It works really well.
A tin of tuna in his bottom. That is perfect.
Tuna, yes. So emergency tuna. So if we ever run out of food, I'll have to undo the bottom of the gnome to eat the tuna.
Yes. Have an emergency supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fun. Love it. Yeah, no, I sent you a little instant message to a little chat. Show me your gnome, and you did. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Lana says, love tuna gnome.
Tuna gnome, yes.
Tuna gnome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That could be his name, Tuna.
It could be his name, Tuna, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So much fun.
Have you started a new project?
I have, but you won't be able to tell what it is though. It's going to be a summer top. So it's crochet. So it's made out of two pieces like this, and you join them. You sort of like a pleat join of the two pieces in the middle, and then you add some lace crochet underneath and some straps at the top. So the pleat will go in the middle, and then the top will go round. So you have like a solid bit and then a lace bit underneath. It's quite difficult to explain. Yeah, but
like a bikini.
The top bit looks like a bikini, yes. Yeah. But then you have a lace all the way down to however long you want the top. But yeah, the top bit will look a bit like a bikini, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not very good at crochet, so I'm quite slow, but we'll see.
That doesn't look slow. It looks like you've
Yeah.
got a
Oh,
lot
it
of
doesn't to
crocheting
me.
done.
And it's
Yeah.
like you actually crochet. It's like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Slowly, yes, yeah. But that's fine, yeah.
Well, it's almost time. Anybody else have something they'd like to show? Joellen, we haven't heard from you.
Well, I was talking with Will earlier. I'm at a point where I always have to refer to your video, and that is for undoing the sleeves at the provisional cast on thing.
I
So
see.
I really couldn't do it and talk and listen. There's just too many things going on for me. But this is my V-neck.
Nice.
That's lovely.
That's great.
We can. Yeah, that's
I
really
love
pretty.
the feel of it. It just feels wonderful.
Very, very nice.
Is it navy blue or black?
It is a navy blue. The name of it's Pacific, I guess, as in the Pacific Ocean. And I feel like I have enough balls of yarn, but I went ahead and bought a couple more just in case. And they didn't have this color anymore, but this is called chestnut.
Oh.
And together
that would
they're
go
actually
pretty
quite
with it.
pretty.
Yeah.
Lovely
It is
colour,
very
yeah.
nice.
Since I bought this, I was watching TV, and I've seen 3 different programs where people had these 2 colors on. So I thought, well, I'm right. I'm just snuff on that. But I don't know. I may just be blue all the way down.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
And did I hear you say you've knitted several Phrancko sweaters?
Me?
Yes.
I think it's my 5th one.
Wow.
I think that's several.
That's several. Yes.
I'll say it again, Frank. Potato chips.
You can't knit just one.
Yeah, just that one. No. Fun.
So anybody else have something to show or share or ask before we go? I guess it's all done then. See you all next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Bye,
it was
everyone.
fun.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Be well.
Thanks, Frank.
Night.
Thank you for coming.